What's growing on, gardeners? Well, it's August. Most people don't feel like doing much this time of year. It's hot in most places, often oppressively humid. It's thunderstorm and monsoon season in many areas. Most of us are pretty burnt out and don't feel like being out in our gardens this time of year. I like to call this being trapped in gardening hell. It's more than a metaphor. Some days it is literally so hot it's like we're in an oven, and staying outside in it all day is like a form of punishment. Gardening hell, more than a figure of speech this time of year. But how often throughout the year do we find ourselves in this position where we are literally wishing our life away, unhappy with the present, waiting for another time with fairer weather and a new beginning? Tell me if this timeline sounds familiar to you. Every year when spring rolls around, we start getting so excited. The promise of spring brings so many new beginnings and opportunities. The days are getting longer. The temperatures are getting warm. The clouds are breaking up more often and revealing more and more blue sky. We are so excited to spend more time outdoors, breathe in some fresh air again, and yes, get our garden started for the new season. We are so excited to plant out our gardens, and all is well. But then what happens? Pollen season starts. It makes it difficult to be outside and enjoy the nice early spring weather. We fight through it, take some allergy meds, and keep the garden growing, but in the back of our minds, we start wishing the early spring away so the pollen stops. Finally, summer arrives. The trees are done producing pollen, and it's great for the next couple weeks, but then it starts getting hot. Shortly after that, the humidity rolls in, and here comes the thunderstorms. The high temperatures, oppressive humidity, and strong UV index of the sun beats up our bodies, and we don't want to be in the outdoors anymore. We just can't wait for the summer to end, and we wish fall will come and put an end to all of the heat. Well, fall arrives on schedule, but your fall garden is way behind. Because you avoided the heat and humidity of summer, most of your plants fell by the wayside and things aren't looking too good. The garden is a mess of weeds, dying plants, and decaying fruit. You try your best to clear out some of your beds and get some seeds started, but you don't have high hopes. Because you're planting things so late, you're not going to get an ideal harvest. You do the best to deal with the time you have remaining, but in the back of your mind, you're really just wishing the fall away so a new season begins and you can start all over again. Soon, fall starts turning into winter, the days get short, the skies turn gray, and it's cold outside. The garden is dead at this point from the cold. The holidays will distract you for a while, but once the new year passes, you have nothing much to look forward to, so you do what you do best. Start wishing winter away for a new spring to begin. Wash, rinse, repeat. We become trapped in this endless cycle of wishing the current season away for the promise of the next season. But once that next season gets here, we find all the flaws with that season and wish for the next to come. We're trapped in an endless cycle of wishing our lives away, trapped in gardening hell 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365.25 days a year. I know this feeling well. It ruled my life for years, and it was ruining my life. I could never find joy in the present because I was too busy focusing on what I didn't like about the current time for a grass is always greener attitude. But that greener grass never materialized. If this sounds like you, what I hope to do in this video is to help you escape gardening hell and get you to find joy in every season. It's taken me a long time to get here, but I feel like I've finally put those old days behind me, and now the grass truly is greener all the time. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a professional. I'm just sharing what worked for me in hopes that I can inspire you. There are 3 things I did to help break my vicious cycle of unhappiness. 1. I replaced happiness with satisfaction. 2. I embraced the idea of gratitude. And 3. I transformed my environment to achieve the goals of satisfaction and gratitude. Let me address these 3 things one by one. Number 1, replacing happiness with satisfaction is, in my opinion, the most important thing you can do to create a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. The world we live in today is obsessed with happiness, and people are constantly trying to chase that feeling of happiness. The problem is that happiness is a fleeting emotion. It's a temporary spike of dopamine in your body. by definition, it is impossible to sustain that feeling, and trying to chase that feeling is literally akin to a drug addiction. The constant chasing of that dopamine hit has us doing things like going on shopping sprees, obsessing over likes on social media from people we will never meet, overeating foods we know are terribly unhealthy, taking substances we know are bad for us, all on the quest to get that dopamine hit. But then what happens? The sugar high from the dopamine spike turns into a sugar crash. The bills come due, and we regret what we have done. But the only way out of that sugar crash is another sugar high. So we repeat the cycle. The constant quest for happiness often leaves us sad. The thing we should be chasing is not happiness. We should be chasing satisfaction. Do you know what the difference is? Happiness is a state of mind, an emotion that occurs in real time. Satisfaction is the absence of desire due to the fulfillment of one's wishes. Satisfaction is sustainable because it involves fulfilling a goal. For example, my goal back in 2018 was to become a licensed practicing professional engineer. In order to achieve that goal, I had to spend years working as an engineer in training, then dedicate 4 months of my life studying 2 or more hours every single night, taking practice exams, reading books, and taking online classes. I took the exam, waited months to hear the results, and I learned that I had passed. Here we are over 6 years later, and I'm still satisfied because I fulfilled a life goal that I had since college. Now that we've acknowledged the differences between happiness and satisfaction, how do we actually achieve satisfaction? Well, this has to be done by setting goals. Satisfaction comes by fulfilling your goals. So if you aren't setting real goals for yourself, you'll never be satisfied. Give yourself a series of real goals, a 6-month goal, a 1-year goal, a 5-year goal, whatever floats your boat, but make them real and really set out to accomplish them. Which brings me to my second point. Embrace the idea of gratitude. Every goal you set for yourself should come from a position of gratitude. Don't choose empty, self-serving goals. Set goals that you are passionate about, that you want to show appreciation for by sharing them with others. This is the core reason why I began this YouTube channel. I learned decades ago that gardening was a passion of mine, and 7 years ago I made the decision that I wanted to share my passion with the world. I originally had no intention of having a YouTube channel of this size and have much of my life revolve around my garden. I just knew that I wanted to share my message with as many people as possible and spread the good word of growing your own food, eating and living healthier, sustainability, and self-reliance. As this YouTube channel grew, I used the feedback from all of you as motivation to set my goals higher. I gave myself bigger and bigger projects, I learned to become a better speaker, and I taught myself how to edit videos better. Believe me, there have been so many days when I wanted to quit, but I knew that if I did, I would be letting all of you down, and most of all, I would be letting myself down. For that reason, every goal I've achieved along the way has been sweeter and sweeter, and I feel that I've been given a real purpose in life. I could not have achieved that without the support of the millions of people that have watched these videos and have left me kind, supporting comments. The feeling of gratitude, I promise you, is beyond anything I could ever put into words. I live with an intense feeling of gratitude every day of my life. And you know what? If I can do it, anyone can. Gratitude is the key to achieving satisfaction. Everything I am grateful for in life ultimately leaves me satisfied. But here's the trick. It's incumbent upon you to find your passion. No one is going to find your passion for you. Find your passion, set goals based around it, and do your best to achieve it. For me, the key was to choose a passion that I could talk about with anyone for hours. We all have them. What's yours? And please, don't fear failing at your goals. You only fail if you quit. All forward progress, no matter how slow, is progress. The fun is in the journey, so take your time, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Now, you may be asking, how does all of this tie into gardening? Well, that is my third and final concept, transforming your environment to achieve the goals of satisfaction and gratitude. Before I moved to North Carolina, I lived in the northwestern suburbs of Philadelphia. I won't lie, I hated it there. I didn't like where I lived, I didn't like the weather, I no longer enjoyed the job I was working. Every single day was a grind, and I knew I had to make a change. I made the hardest decision of my life. I packed up and relocated 600 miles away. Believe me, I made every excuse in the book to try and talk myself out of the mood. But I'm from here. But my family is here. But my friends are here. But I know this place and I don't know that place. I knew I was unhappy with where I was at, and I was getting worse. So I figured it was worth a try. After all, worst case, I could always move back. I didn't move back. Instead of staying in a situation that I knew wouldn't fulfill my goals, I took a risk, and it paid off 1,000,000 times over. Moving down here fixed the number one thing that was killing my spirit: the cold, dreary winters. The winters here are still colder than I'd like, honestly, but they're manageable and they're mostly dry and mostly sunny. Then I set myself a lofty goal: help me find joy in every season. In order to find joy in every season, I knew I needed something to always be grateful for in the present, in the now. That has been the driving force between my entire garden and yard. So I planted things out to guarantee that. April is strawberry and blueberry season. May is blackberry season and the early tomatoes start. June is the heart of tomato, cucumber, and zucchini season, and July brings more tomatoes plus peppers and melons. August and September means figs, 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 my favorite season of all. In fact, ooh, look at this sucker right here. Look at that beautiful Smith fig right there, dripping fig honey from the eye. I just know this is going to be, oh, absolutely perfect inside. Look at those pools of fig honey. Exactly like sticking a spoon in a jar of strawberry jam. October means the fall garden is getting going. Lettuce, broccoli, cabbage, carrots, beets, leeks, green onions, cilantro, all the things we couldn't grow when it was too hot. November into December means persimmon season, my new favorite fruit. I mean, just look at these. To this day, I can't believe that I have found something that makes me enjoy when frost and freeze starts. And December into January means citrus, citrus, citrus galore. Look at all of these oranges. Is this not incredible? This is the first thing in my life that has made me enjoy January. February means I can start my tomato and pepper plants from seed, and March means the frosts and freezes stop here and I can start moving my warm weather transplants out into my garden. I look forward to every single month here because I have purposefully set myself up to enjoy what's happening right now. I am no longer wishing my life away. I'm actually wishing for things to slow down so I can live more in the moment and enjoy what's happening today. And this has changed my life. The type of gratitude that this has given me is the best kind: delayed gratification. The fact that it has taken me 6 years to get this far only adds to the satisfaction. The amount of gratitude and joy that I have for getting this far is beyond words. And that has me circling back to the final concept: sharing this passion with all of you. I have found the thing in my life that keeps me satisfied and grateful, and I'm doing my best every single day to try and share it with as many people as possible in hopes that it can do for them what it has done for me. So because you are watching this video on my channel, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that you are passionate about gardening too. But maybe you're falling into the trap that I used to fall into. I was too busy focusing on the negatives of the season instead of being grateful for the great abundance with that season that it brought. It has taken a lot of work, both physically and mentally, to change, but it has been worth it. And I think that if you set yourself up with a system to stagger the abundance throughout the year like I have, I truly think that you will find yourself more excited to live in the moment and share your passion with others. Now, I know this video is quite a bit different than most of the videos I make, but I thought it was really important to make this and touch on some of these concepts because I see how unsatisfied so many people are. And I think a lot of that has to do with how we've transitioned from an entrepreneurial-based economy where everybody owns something and to some degree worked for themselves to an employee-based economy where pretty much everybody works for someone else. So people often feel disconnected from what they do and they don't feel like they have any skin in the game. Pair that with the internet and sometimes the real world doesn't feel real. So people are less connected than ever before, despite being more connected. So I really wanted to make this video and let you all know that I've battled all of these things as well, and you can come out on the other side. The great news is, because we have the internet, this gives us a greater tool than ever to actually find the things that we are passionate about. So please, use it to your advantage. It is incumbent upon you to find the things in life that you really enjoy and then set those goals and try and achieve them. I promise you, satisfaction is a million times better than happiness. So everybody, I sure hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and please ring that notification bell so you're notified when I release more videos like these. If you have any questions about any of the things that I laid out in this video, drop a comment below and I'll try my best to talk it out with you. Maybe I can give you a little bit of inspiration. In the meantime, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to enjoy this big pile of figs I just harvested off my tree out there. The little things like this are often the things that we have the most gratitude for. So if I can find happiness in something so simple, I'm sure you can as well. I hope to catch you all on the next one. Boy, oh boy, Dale is really losing his touch. Maybe it's because I have the robot vacuum going and he can't hear, but I made his entire breakfast and he is nowhere to be. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Come on, dude. You are a lunatic. How did you know I was talking about you? All right, okay. This is pork tenderloin with white rice, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. So Dale, you can't share the bed with us because all those brassicas, buddy. We don't want to be woken up in the middle of the night by any tremors. That looks really good though.